Hello and welcome back. Here I'll be doing a reload tutorial in Blueprints for Unreal Engine 4. Now you might know that I have done this tutorial before, however there was an issue with how we were doing the reload mechanism, meaning that occasionally it would give off more ammo than you actually had. So let's just get straight into this. So we'll go into our first person character blueprints in Blueprints. So to create the reload, I'm just going to press C to get a comment, which we're going to then add reload function into. And actually we're going to put this in a function, so we'll just do reload. So I just added a new function and clicked reload. Now we're going to need some new variables. So here I'm going to just use ammo in the character's class itself. So I'm going to have my total ammo, which is an integer, my equipped ammo, or you might want to call it ammo in mag, and I'm going to make another one called needed ammo. We can also add a boolean here saying B can reload, and change that to a boolean. And in the event graph, when we fire a projectile, we're just going to set B can reload to true. And then in reload, hold B and left click to get a branch, get our B can reload, and we're going to use that as our condition to check if the player needs to reload at this point. So if they've not fired their gun yet, then they don't need to reload. However, if they have fired their gun, then we need to see how much they need to actually reload. So we're going to set needed ammo equal to, and we're going to need another final variable, which I'm going to actually put in local variables. Now, I'm going to get another final variable saying max mag ammo. So this is the maximum ammo that can be in the mag, and we'll set this with a default value of 30. So my max mag ammo minus my ammo in the magazine is the ammo we need to equip. So B and left click for branch. Now we need to check if our total ammo is greater than or equal to our needed ammo. And actually I'm going to put needed ammo in our local variable, as we're not going to need it after this instance. So you can delete needed ammo, and change this local variable to needed ammo. Set my needed ammo back again and get it again. And this is just more optimized, so we're not carrying around the value of this needed ammo every time, even when we're not reloading, and instead we'll just create it and destroy it as needed. So if my total ammo is greater than or equal to my needed ammo, then we're going to set my ammo in my magazine to ammo in my magazine plus integer, the needed ammo, and then we'll set that for my ammo in my magazine, and set total ammo. We'll set total ammo equal to this max ammo minus ammo in mag. So we actually need to do that first. Oh, sorry. We'll set total ammo to total ammo. However, there was an issue with how we were doing the reload mechanism, meaning function, so we'll just do reload more ammo than you had tutorial in Blueprints for Unreal Engine 4. Now you might know that I have done this tutorial before, however there was an issue with how we were doing the reload mechanism, meaning that occasionally I'm just going to press C to get a comment. So let's just get straight into this. So we'll go into our first person character blueprints in Blueprints. So to create the reload, I'm just going to press C to get a comment, which we're going to then add reload function into. And actually we're going to put this in a function, so we'll just do reload. So just add mechanism or ammo person character blueprints in Blueprints. So to create the reload, I'm just going to press C to get a comment, which we're going to then add reload function into. And actually we're going to put this in a function, so we'll just do and actually we're going to put this in a function, so we'll just do reload. So just added it into, and actually we're going to put this in a function, so we'll just do reload. So just added a new function and clicked reload. Now we're going to need some new variables. So here I'm going to just use, which is an integer, my ammo in mag, and I'm going to make another one called needed ammo. We can also add a boolean here saying B can reload, and change that to a boolean. And in the event graph, when we we fire a projectile, we're just going to set beacon, reload, fire, and change that to a boolean. And in the event graph, when we fire a projectile, we're just going to set beacon reload to true. And then in reload, load to true. And in the event graph, when we fire a projectile, we're just going to set beacon reload to true. And then in reload, hold B and left click to get a branch, get our beacon reload. However, so do which I'm gonna get another ammo, set my max mag with a projectile, and in the event graph mode, and change that to a boolean. And in the event graph, when we fire a projectile, we're just going to set beacon reload to true. Get reload at this mode. Load maximally is ammo. Set can change the ammo. Size of our magazine. Size you'd add will function after 50. So I'm going to create a user interface with. So I'm going to grab out here and that give me a call. Set this bit because this game is text. So we're going to come off here and do binding. Put some big thing over here. 0 all content. I'm going to call this.
insert mag, uh, jump this mesh, insert mag, and then obviously we have some reload. I can also do something silly like restart reloading and drop the gun, and something weird happened. The gun disappeared. Actually, that never happened before, but now he has a mag in his hand. So I need to figure out why that.
Alright, what's going on YouTube? We're back with part 2 of our kind of just getting set up with animations and character stuff for the FPS game, of course.
Hello and welcome back. Here I'll be doing a reload tutorial in Blueprints for Unreal Engine 4. Now you might know that I have done this tutorial before.
Привет. Что? А? Что делаешь?
Зачем ты это использовал? Реалист.
У меня в реалисте хранятся все данные. То есть, я задаю адрес, я задаю маску. И в реалисте хранится мой этот стринг финальный, где написано от, то есть ID, потом начинается, заканчивается и broadcast адрес. Мне реалист нужен был только... Это как хранилище, понял? Для всех этих.
Remove the two. And this is, so we'll save file. Hey everyone.
Hello everyone. My name is Taras
Russian
Wait,
in 1.1. I think you're gonna like it. Internal ammo. There is no internal magazine. If this was a shotgun, this is where you would set your this is the actual current internal ammo that I can speak. Current internal ammo and the max internal ammo, like its max magazine size. Weapon accuracy. So, bloom is a term that was used in Halo, and it's generally just because of how the crosshairs worked in Halo. There was a circle and it got bigger when you fired or what have you. That's why they called it sort of bloom, like a flower or whatever. But it's essentially, I call it bloom. I may change the name. A lot of people hate the name bloom. It's the accuracy of the weapon per shot. So we do want to have inaccuracy built into the weapon. We aren't going to have a per shot inaccuracy for this gun. If you are doing more of an arcade thing, or if a certain weapon actually does get more or less accurate per shot, you would do that here. But since we have actual recoil that we can use, we don't need to have that increase per shot of inaccuracy. So we're going to have a base spread of, we'll start at 0.1 and we'll move that down. Now, stabilized spread mod, this is the modifier of how much, when you stabilize the weapon with your forehand, it lessens the actual spread of the bullet. Another kind of arcadey thing. I leave it at 1. There's no reason why adding like a gun's accuracy is determined by the gun itself. It's not determined by the shooter. And I know that sounds weird because a shooter's accuracy is determined by themselves. But if you put a gun on a table and you like ratchet it down and fire it over and over and over again, where it's not going to move at all no matter what the recoil is, like its base accuracy isn't going to be determined by whether or not someone's holding the front of the gun or not. So this is generally something for more arcadey stuff, like in case you want to have something like that happen. That's what that's for. Spread increase max. This is how, let's say you wanted it to increase at like 0.2 every time it's fired. Then you could set the maximum it could possibly get. So the maximum spread you could possibly get at 1, and it would stop at 1 and not get any worse. We're going to leave those at 0. And the reset time is how long between shots it takes for the bloom to reset. And it doesn't really matter what we put this as, because we aren't really using per shot inaccuracy. We are just having a base inaccuracy for every bullet fired, which is how guns work. Third-party variables.
Projectile. If you just tap here, after that, damage is less than. It cannot go above 101 damage now. Again, thanks very much for watching this, guys. Hope to see you on the next tutorial. As always.
Hello and welcome to Unreal Engine 4. Now you might know that I have in here saying B can reload, and change that to a boolean. Set B can reload to true. We're just going to set B can reload to true. And in the event graph, when we fire a projectile, we're just going to set B can reload to true. and set beacon reload to true. Beacon at this point. Or if they have fired set needed ammo, another variable with a default value minor is are not going to know. So they delete again of this and total integer set the ammo mag total like the ammo minus
Вы завтра на это собрание? Да.
Hello friends, this is Sagar from SD Creation. Set it like this, but if you keep default everything set to, so after this we can create gun clip, and here go get back into here, and don't forget to save. Go into saving. Now everything is fixed, but first of all we need to create a montage. We forget. Right click, create a montage. Open this anim montage, and here we need to upper body slot, compile, save, and if everything works fine.